Can the blind lead the blind? Of course not, because they will both fall into a ditch. This is what Jesus preached. And yet many of you don't listen to Jesus' words because you're the blind. And yet you're allowing people who are blinded to guide you. And that's foolish. Why are you letting the blind guide you? And some of you, you're blind, and yet you think you're a blind guide for those who are blind, yet you yourself cannot see. Because what's happened is you've allowed error, false teaching, false ideas to enter into your heart that has caused you to be blind. So here's the question. What was Jesus' answer to those who are blind? Notice the next verse. Watch verse 39. Can the blind lead the blind? Will they not fall into a pit? The next verse. The student is not above the teacher, but everyone who is fully trained will be like the teacher. What is Jesus saying? God's answer to those who are blind is that he set the teachers in the church. That's why Ephesians 4 says, God has set in the church apostles, prophets, evangelists, pastors, and teachers. Why? To perfect you, to help guide you in life. And yet some of you tell yourself, I don't need to go to church. Can I tell you, all of you who say you don't need to go to church, you're the blind. That's right. You don't realize you are the blind because you haven't realized that you need a Bible teacher, a pastor, to help guide you into the truth. All of us need that. Oh, no, I don't need anybody. I know the Bible myself. Well, how did you learn it? I just learned it on my own. There's the blind leading the blind. Why did Jesus say that you need to be fully trained like your teacher? You see, he's already showing us his solution is Christ is going to establish an apostolic church with apostles and then their successors like bishops and elders, and that they're going to help guide the church. But how can you be guided when you refuse to even go to the church and submit to a local pastor? The fact that some of you don't submit to a pastor is already proof you are blinded because you don't want to be trained. At least have the humility of the Ethiopian eunuch who was traveling on a road, and Philip the deacon comes and says to him, what are you reading? He says, I'm reading Isaiah. And Philip says, do you know what you're reading? And in humility, the eunuch says, how can I know unless someone explains it to me? And yet some of you don't need anyone to explain anything to you because you know everything.